What's good, y'all? Today we're going to talk about top surgery and testosterone. Essentially, why did I physically transition? So for those of you who don't know, I'm a competitive swimmer. I currently am a junior at Harvard University, where I've been swimming for 3 years, and I've been swimming my whole life. Really, I've been competing since I was I learned how to swim when I was 1.5. I've been on a team since I was 4, and I've been competing since I was 6. So swimming has been the biggest part of my life forever, and physically transitioning poses problems to, or not problems, but complications with sport because of hormones and surgery, and both of those have implications on athletic ability, and there are also rules in the NCAA that regulate what you can and can't do. So when I figured out that I was trans and I realized that I wanted to transition, I thought that I was going to have to choose between transitioning and playing my sport. What I realized as I kind of worked through all of these potential options and paths in my life was that I could get top surgery and still compete as female, because you can't say, oh, your boobs are too small, you're not a woman. So top surgery was a no-brainer for me as soon as I figured that out. And I'd always had a problem with boobs on me, not on other people, and I knew from the time before they started developing that I didn't want boobs. Like, my mom told me when I was going to go through puberty I was going to get hips and boobs, and I was like, no, I'm not. I don't want that. And so it was, when I got them, I didn't want them. Before I had them, I didn't want them. And when I had them, I definitely didn't want them. So top surgery was a huge yes, please. I don't want boobs. It was more about when I would do it, not if. So I got working on my top surgery as soon as I possibly could. Testosterone, on the other hand, was a very complicated decision for me. And there's 2 reasons. The first is I had a lot of issues with modifying my body artificially, and I had trouble working through what that meant to me. And I think I'll make a video about that and what it meant to me at a later time. But on the other side of things, there was this legality issue or a logistical issue with the NCAA. Could I take testosterone and be on the men's team? Did I want to be on the men's team? And all of the gendered things about hormones and sport. And I was given the option to swim on the men's team, and it took me a while to accept that offer. This decision was complicated in many different ways because it was picking between men's and women's teams, not just about hormones. But once I actually decided to compete for the men's team, then the opportunity came up as to did I want to take testosterone? And I ended up deciding that I did want to take testosterone for multiple reasons, but the main one was that I still felt like I was hiding pieces of myself from myself. So I still felt like something didn't work when I looked in the mirror, things were not quite aligning correctly, and I wanted to see if testosterone would change that. And I figured if it didn't, and it didn't work, and I didn't like it, I could always stop taking the shots. And yes, there are a couple irrevocable changes that testosterone inflicts when you take it, namely your voice. You can't undeepen your voice. Bone structure, you can't really change that, and facial hair doesn't really go away once you've started taking testosterone. But I figured I wasn't going to be upset with any of those if I took testosterone and then they didn't go away. I think I was going to be okay with that. So I decided to take the risk of maybe this will make me feel better, maybe it will make me feel more aligned, and I have been really pleased with the results. So I think that globally, transitioning has been a very very wonderful healing experience for me, but the start of it was very complicated because I had so many outside factors that were potentially going to affect whether or not I transitioned, namely swimming, my sport. So I guess my recommendation for any of you guys, if you're sitting there trying to figure out if you want to transition, is you need to take it one step at a time and do it for yourself. So that doesn't mean that outside factors aren't important, because I actually think that when people say nothing else matters, it's only what you want, and it's only what you want for you and you and you, and yes, to some degree, but I also want to validate that other things are important. So for me, swimming is so important to my life, and it was a huge part of my decision. And to throw it away and be no, nothing else matters, it's just about what makes me happy inside and in my body, is just not accurate. There are other factors in the world, and I think it's so important to take those into account, because in the end, you're trying to make yourself happiest overall, not just in this one part of your life. So you need to make decisions that are going to satisfy your entire life and what's going to make you happy in the end, and not just in this one tiny space. So that doesn't mean don't transition, it doesn't mean do transition. It means you need to really think about the implications of transitioning for your body, for yourself, for your passions, your family, what's around you. That isn't to say, again, to do things for your family either, or for other people, but I'm just saying I think it's really important and it's valid to take into account the scenario that you're in when you decide to transition or not. And yeah, so I hope that this little babble was helpful for you. If you have more questions, please drop them below. And I'm going to try to make more videos this December and January when I have some time off from school. And so yeah, let me know if you have specific topics you want me to go on. Currently I'm doing In addition to this one, I'm going to do something about dating. I'm going to do something about swimming, specifically being trans and swimming. I'm going to do one about my team, I think, and I'm going to do one with my parents, like a Q&A with my parents, but I'll drop that one on my Instagram so you guys can ask questions. And then I'm going to do how did I know that I was trans. So let me know if you have more topics. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, y'all.